Psst, sorry.
Windscale, the pride of Britain.
Sorry. Dude, sit down.
Picturesque Lake District.
Sorry.
The state-of-the-art atom plant has transformed this rugged
Sit down
landscape into the envy of its northern
my favorite
neighbors.
bit.
Scientific progress waits for no...
It's Atomfall, baby! A game I've been waiting for my entire fucking life. Atomfall is a new game, kind of, that takes place in a post-apocalyptic town in England. You may have heard of it. London, 2025. Now, when I first heard of a British-style Fallout game, I was rock hard. I couldn't even get up from my seat without bringing the desk. It's the land of fish and chips, dodgy accents, and slapping our sexy fucking flag on every island we can find. Now everyone's gonna slap me and say, but what about Fallout London? We'll get back to Fallout London at some point, but with no Fallout lore or game engine, I was excited to see what they could pull off from scratch. I have no choice but to review it, regardless of the player count, and regardless of the fact that no one gives a fuck about this game at this point. I'm sorry. Rebellion, if you want to sponsor me still, it's a really good game. It's a really good game. And I'm not gonna lie, I had some high expectations. This is Britannia, boys. The homeland. If I don't see a radiated chav, I'm gonna lose my shit. So without further ado, let's take a look at Atomfall. So a little bit of backstory. This entire game takes place in Cumbria, a place no one in this part of the world has heard of, or this part, or this. But here is where a nuclear disaster happened in 1957. We don't do history on this channel, but bam, it happened. It's legit. We beat Hitler, that was us. But obviously in this game, the extreme is taking place, and 5 years on, the quarantine zone is still going strong. And this is where we arise, a clueless British man waking up in a vault.
One of the great things about having a fully dynamic
It's a
game
bunker.
engine.
It's a bunker, it's different. And before leaving, we were immediately hit with a decision, whether to save the scientist or kill him.
I just woke up in a fucking steaming mood, yeah?
This sets the groundwork for all the kind of decisions throughout the game, and we'll get to those later, because off the bat, the world, stunning. It's stunning, boys. If I had to compare it, 2004 Angelina Jolie. Prime, you know? The map isn't exactly ginormous, but I wouldn't expect it to be. The quarantine idea is a good way around that. The village itself is probably the coolest bit. For how big it is, I was expecting to be able to go in more of the buildings, but fine. The atmosphere, in British terms, is fire, rude boy. For real, for real. Almost as quality as a Stormzy McDonald's meal. Shakespeare. It makes me feel at home. This could be because it is the route to all the other areas in the game, and there's no fast travel, which I thought was cool at the start, but after running through Slatendale every 4 minutes trying to figure out how the quests work, I've consulted with an expert, and here is the conclusion. Yeah, it's fucking rough, mate. Now before I continue and we make 1,000 Fallout and British jokes and keep comparing the games side by side, this game is not an RPG. It takes the elements of an RPG, but it's an RPG curious game. Okay? Technically, it is an action survival game with a slight horror tinge to it. I can see why.
Bloody peacocks! Oh!
Combat is something I'm kind of split on. Sometimes the shooting can make me feel like a man. Whole, clean headshots, bada bing. But most of the guns are rusty pieces of shit that will make an enemy fill the entire ammo supply that you spent the last 2 hours gathering into their fucking chest. I'm serious, man. Ammo? No. Nope. Not gonna happen. Rifles and shotguns are probably your best bet. Keep these clown raiders with zero backstory down. Stay down! And after you've had your 3 seconds of excitement, which I think, gentlemen, we can all agree, it's a long time. It's definitely a long time. Welcome back to reality, old boy. Back to slapping people around like Rick James because, oh look, you're out of ammo again. Before the guy realizes he was born and raised by Jackie Chan and kicks the living shit out of you. The coolest gun I found by far was the LMG, but good luck finding a whole mag for that shit. You would have better luck meeting a British dentist. Some of these enemies are really fucking meaty, man. I'm mainly talking about the ferals, which, you know, I don't want to say Fallout owns vaults and ghouls, but Fallout owns vaults and ghouls. Don't even start me on the magazines.
Oh, that's just fucking...
The rats in Windscale are on some form of blitzkrieg meth, because they're running at me with some kind of fucking death wish. And the fish aren't even my biggest issue. Why don't you actually get closer to the fish so you can hit them, mate? Does work. What the fuck? Robots are the hardest enemy. You'll see a handful of these and just jam your way around it. I'm not seeing any original one-of-a-kind enemies. You know, like a boss or something. I'm a sucker for a boss. Nothing like defeating an enemy who actually possesses a name. It is going to be casual enemies for pretty much the whole thing. There's not even like a final boss, which is sort of a lie, I guess. There is one named person you'll fight on the last mission. It's down to what faction you chose, and my man, in my case, it's a fucking decrepit grandma named Mother Jago. How is this it? Who came up with this shit? You know, Rebellion, I'm a nice man, but give me something that's worth mentioning here. You know, leave a note saying there's a fat guy called James down the hall that sounded ill, and bam, I'll be fucking up James and watching a full 90-second lore video on the history of this man. Don't get me wrong, they do the occasional bit of world building, but I just want to see plenty more of it. Now, I heard a lot of big things about stealth in this, and how it is a lot more advanced.
That's better and fairer.
It is at no point ever needed, so I don't really know why it's in. Like, you can't even pickpocket, and the only thing you can do is snap a neck that rings an echo through even the streets of fucking Japan.
How'd he hear that?
The thing is, you don't really get much for killing enemies, so half the time it is wiser just to do the British thing, walking past while aggressively staring. The only upgrade you can get on the guns is through combining them to get a better condition. There isn't any attachment, there isn't any customization, no armor systems, which, you know, not necessarily a bad thing. I just feel like I gotta tell you, because for some reason, I decided to make game reviews. There is a simplicity to it that's kind of nice, you know, with all the fucking numbers, options, and bullshit people throwing at me nowadays. It's a take it or leave it kind of thing, but if you've just played the new Assassin's Creed, you might want to wind down with a little bit of Atomfall, you know? Upgrading these weapons can sadly only be done through the skill system, which I think the skills in this game really brings out those quintessential British skills. You know, peak dental hygiene, lads that are hard as nails, and Top Gear. Fuck me, I love Top Gear. No, if I'm honest, I'm a little let down here, lads. None of the skills are really that noticeable, aside from, I guess, the weapon repair one. Main reason for this might be because I got majority of them so late in the game, it was almost pointless. Colgate toothpaste pointless. The thing is, you have to find skills in barred boxes. You don't earn them or anything. Don't be fucking stupid. Which also adds to why kill a man when he's just got string and a shotgun I already have. These boxes are normally at the end of enemy-filled areas, or just hidden here and there. Also, to unlock any of these skills, you have to find them around the map. So if there's something in particular you might want and think, that could be useful, you'll have to Google it and find it yourself. But without these in the game, there isn't really anything else to loot. I think they should put some original weapons in. The real biggest pain in the ass for me is the healing system. There's no regen. You can go old school and fill your face with Cornish pasties and tea, craft bandages or medkits, which is pretty standard. That's not the issue. The problem is there's no hotkey for healing. I fucking triple checked this till my balls ache, but no, nothing.
Oh, well, I guess you gotta open the inventory to heal. What a first world problem.
Here's what makes it third world, my man. Despite being a single player game, it doesn't pause when you open the inventory. So you have to run off, find cover, heal, which most of the time you will have barely enough room in your inventory for more than 2 bandages. Then you craft them there and then, as crafting items don't take up any room in your inventory, and that space can be upgraded. Not the proper inventory. Don't let me lose you here. You've got like these tube chest things, but basically an ender chest in Minecraft that stores all your items, and it's available at other tube chests. I just can't find these things in any spots that benefit me, nowhere near a trader or the village. It's only going to be in the interchange, which is just adding to my inventory issue. Now you're probably asking, what actually is the objective of the game? And quite frankly, I think you should shut the fuck up and let me finish. The main quest revolves around Oberon. This is a meteorite that hit Earth and is infecting people with spores. Yeah, honestly, they never really explain what happened. I guess a meteorite just hit a power plant. That, you know, that didn't happen in real life, but I guess on this game, that is the thing. So, destroy Oberon. Bam, you get to leave. You unlock a place early called the Interchange. This is the entrance of the power plant that blew up because of the meteorite, I think. In total, you need 5 batteries to be able to complete the main quest. Every one of the batteries unlocks a small area within the interchange to explore and loot. Most of the useful shit in this game will be in these small sections. The horror vibe really amps up in these areas, or maybe I'm just a massive pussy, but they did great. Pretty cool idea. I like it. You can feel the swing coming, can't you? The batteries, what the fuck were they thinking? It is so easy to get these batteries. You will have a harder time finding a pack of fucking Duracell than finding an atomic battery. Several traders you'll find throughout the zone will possess these things, but if you're too cheap, you'll have every trader in England with the neck of an owl and more batteries in your drawer than Bonnie Blue. If you do want to buy these things and possibly have a human left to talk to, you're wondering, what am I trading with? I would say the main currency of this game is grenades. Alright, calm your clip. They're worth the most in trade, which is why you probably notice my inventory is always covered with unstackable Molotovs, which we've already discussed the inventory problems, but I'm about to rip my foreskin off if I keep going. On top of that, batteries are dropped from robots, which are not easy at all to kill, but why in the fuck have I found 2 batteries in just dead robots I happen to find? Oh, that was easy. Along with, you can find these things just on shelves out and about, avoiding the fact you find 1 battery as soon as you enter the interchange. So it's 4. You need 4. I think I finished with 9, 10 maybe. But this has resulted in speedruns of less than 30 minutes within the first week.
27-16, let's go!
Pretty impressive. There is actual storylines, it's not just battery shopping, following 6 different factions that all give you different endings. I'd say the main ones are part of the protocol, which is just the army, or people that like trees. There isn't really much depth to them, but the most one done, and the one that actually makes the least sense, which I hope they explain at some point, is the telephone man.
How much Lego can you stuff up your bum?
He just rings me everywhere with no explanation, reminding me that people are shit. The quests these people give are mainly just fetch quests, but they're not too bad, normally showing you different sections you didn't know was already there, leading to a different form of escape. I would say the side quests are more of what people want in these kind of games, that will give you a few options, but as far as I know, there's like 4 of these, maybe 5, that give you a few alternative endings, and everything else just kind of seems to be, read this note, figure it out, no other direction. It's not complete shit, but I do want more. Like 5 more. I really want to start bum-looking this game like a South American prostitute, because at first glance, it's pretty fun and it's beautiful. And if you ask me for a dream premise of a game, it would probably be this, which is why I'm so critical. But I'm struggling because under all the exterior, there is not much to do. I could have easily completed this game within a few hours if I wasn't making a video on this. I'm sure they're going to add more, but we needed more to begin with. I just feel like there were so many opportunities for funky spin-off side quests with all that buck-toothed British retardation this game should have been about.
Big metal
Typical white English bloke.
I could have it.
Not my hair.
Steady on, George. It's got guns on it, you know.
Stop pinning it out. Run for it!
I think it could have really done with 5 to 6 more side quests,
I tell you what though, folks, that's bloody nice.
a large main quest line for each one of the factions to actually obtain a battery because they're far too easy to get, and a little bit more lore behind what's actually going on. And it's no doubt that any of the side quests and the lore are going to match Bethesda. Frankly, I should be twisting your ballsack for thinking it. Hello. But I was expecting a little bit more explanation as to what the fuck is going on. There's no contact with the outside world at all. All the endings result in a cinematic cutscene that basically says you left the area. Good, bad, doesn't matter, it's finished. I just think the openings were endless and they feel very wasted. Rebellion, if you're watching this, I really do think you boys got a meaty penis over there. You know, I'm just saying, but I just don't think you put it on full display here.
Wow. You really don't like this game, huh?
I do. I like that it's British, but at £45, is that enough? Of course it is, baby. Buy Atomfall. God save the king!
Ninth Wonder. Lil B. Bass God. Bass.
Thank you, Bass God.
Yeah.